Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. And in today's episode, we have Harjit Sidhu together. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. So he's an a kind of an expert in this field of NLP and mindset. So today we're gonna walk over like what things, how we got interested in NLP, and there are like some few questions that I ask my community members. So you will be answering over them. So most of them are regarding mindset and personal development. So yeah, Hajit, welcome to our show.
Hi, good evening, Kishore. Thank you
Yeah,
so much for having me today.
yeah. So like I would like the first question I have for you is like how did you got interested in this field? Because this is not like the I guess you are doing something else, but like most people have in our normal families, we talk about becoming a doctor, becoming a lawyer. They don't talk about go and become an NLP practitioner.
Yeah, that's right.
So how did you
Okay.
got interested in this?
Yeah. Looking at my background and what I am today is totally two different set of world. I did my accountancy, so I was a chartered accountant. I was working in the corporate line for many years, about 16 years. And while working in the corporate sector, of course, the journey into the mindset started during my teenage years. I was reading a lot about how does the mind works, and I was also exposed to some of the teachers who start getting me involved into even psychology area, but not in the most formal way, not from any institutions or what. So we were just dabbling around. For example, if you know Freudian, C.G. Young, these are all the so-called psychologists who have been doing a lot of different work. And I was reading their books and trying to understand what are the laws or the principles they're talking about. So then when I grew up, started working the corporate line, the passion still continues. And I was started wondering, why do people behave in a certain way? What are the reasons why some people are successful, why some people are not performers, and what are the hindrances and all that. So my breakthrough sort of came when I attended Tony Robbins' program, Anthony Robbins, in Singapore. It was the UPW program, Unleash the Power Within. I was at a crossroad at that time, trying still to decide, what to do in life and all that.
Yeah.
Uh, at the same time, working well in a corporate, good salary, perks are all given very nicely as a financial controller. But there came a moment where I had to make a decision that do I go into the world where my passion is, and do I continue working in the corporate in the line as a finance person kind of thing. I still do enjoy finance, not to say I don't enjoy finance at all. I really have passion in finance matter also. So then I made a big decision. But before that, I was wondering, what was Tony Robbins utilizing, or what tools or what techniques? Because he was able to engage and capture the attention of like 4 or 5,000 people at one
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So I started reading a lot about his background, and I came across this thing called NLP. So I said, okay, I need to investigate what is this NLP all about. I started reading, and all that, and I did my first NLP practitioner certification. And then I went on further to become a master practitioner. And at the same time, I noticed the principles of NLP is also interconnected to hypnosis.
Yeah.
So I went for my hypnotherapy certification
Oh,
and went on further into NLP, that became a master trainer in NLP also. And here I am. I'm also a corporate trainer, and my passion is always in the mindset matter. So like you mentioned just now, Kishore,
yeah.
last year when people go into pandemic, started working from home and all that, people had a lot of stress, anxiety, depression going on in their head. So there was a lot of programs that was conducted to cater for that.
So
So,
what was the age when you made this decision of shifting from a corporate career to this new passion area?
right. It was about 18 years ago.
Well, no,
So
yeah, I'm,
now
I'm I'm asking about like how old were you like back then?
at that time. So I'm 53 now.
Okay.
If you're minus 18, so
Okay. So like why I was asking this was because like after going through a path, most
Mm-hmm.
people would not change. So
Okay.
that's why,
Yeah,
like
that's
like
right.
like what was it, like did you feel like something was like because like you have been doing chartered accounts and your everything is good, life is good, family is
Yeah, that's
good,
right.
why to go in
Yeah.
like unknown territory? So how did you
Uh,
leave that comfort zone? Yeah.
yeah. Good question, Kishore. While I was enjoying my life, as a financial controller and all that, I was also visioning myself to become sort of like a motivator to inspire people and all that. Uh, and then came the program, which actually was a transformation program. We had to do the firewalk session and all that. So when I went to the program, I went in as a 100% participant. I didn't go there to observe. I wasn't an observer. I was fully immersed in the program. So, like the saying is, you can take the horse to the water, but you can't force the horse
Yeah.
to drink the water. I was there literally drinking the water and getting absorbed, 100% inside. So, that actually made the whole journey of transformation much more impactful.
Right now, I
Yeah.
have a question. As you were mentioning about Tony Robbins and firewalking, and I have
Mhm.
seen on your profile you talked about glass walking also. Like
Yeah.
the question I have is why, like how, like I'm very faint at it. So how a person could like literally walk
How
on
is it
glass, or
possible, is it?
how it's like possible? Like how
Okay.
will you get the courage to do that
Yeah.
thing?
Exactly. Actually, that's the main question that should be ringing everybody's head. How do we actually build up the courage? Don't worry about the charcoal, the fire. Don't worry about the broken glass. You should be concentrating about how am I going to take the first step? How am I going to stir up the courage or take the first step itself? That should be at the back of the mind. So don't worry about the charcoal. It's all 100% safe. We have made sure everything is in order so that nobody get injured. Definitely, a lot of people are going to say, hey, fire is going to burn you, but we know how to lay it out. The same thing with the glass also. But some people, they say, okay, don't worry, it's all physics. If I know how to walk in a certain way, nothing can get in there. Okay, fine, no problem. You can do all the analysis. But the day you face the fire or the broken glass in front of you, that is the day that, determines who you are actually.
So like because like I consider like if you're doing such a tough thing, you get like
Mhm.
a little boost in your thing that if I
Yeah.
can walk on fire, my life problems are like very small around that.
Exactly, Kishore. So the whole act of fire walking or even glass walking, there's also other activities. For example, arrow breaking. I'm not sure whether you've seen that, where you actually use a real arrow, put it at the throat, and then you press it against the wall until the arrow breaks. Metal rod bending kind of thing. It's actually to reformat your mindset. Just like your computer disk can be reformatted, we also reformat the mind so that new belief comes in. That is why we call it transformational programs.
Wow. Yeah. So most of the people who right now might be listening or following me are generally people who have a entrepreneurial background, or like they have something they are doing a business. So
Mhm.
most the big thing in entrepreneurship is getting that belief, getting
Yes,
that belief this thing works, or like I'm on the right path. So on this path, sometimes you might be doing really well, but your mind is playing a game. Let's say
yes,
we have a goal, so our mind is playing, we can't do this, or like I'm too young, I'm too old, that type of thing. So
correct.
you are from this background of NLP, so like you know about the how mind works. So could you tell like
Yeah,
how a person can tackle this mind games?
right. So before even we do that kind of activity, it's actually a whole process by itself.
Okay.
So the starting point is where each individual will identify their limiting belief. Now, each of us have got a limiting belief, so we'll need to identify those and all that. And then we do a process of anchoring. Anchoring means you actually create anchors in yourself. And then the next one is actually you do that particular activity. By doing all that, you're actually erasing your limiting belief automatically. Because like you mentioned just now, suddenly your mind say that, hey, if I can walk on that charcoal, what is, small issues or small matters in my life, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's where the transformation happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And talking about that, Kishore, about talking about the corporate line or corporate experience, I believe that before we embark anybody to become a better leader, to become a better people manager or anything, executive level or whatever it is, and we talk about leadership skill, people need to believe that they are capable of doing incredible things. People need to have the belief that, hey, I'm able to do something that I never thought I could do. So that is breaking the mindset. And that's where these transformation programs, I believe, should be done first before they are exposed to leadership, creativity, what else, motivation, negotiation skills, or whatever it is. Because the mind need to believe first that I'm able to do this.
Yeah, I got it. Got it. So another question that came in from this is from people. So
Mhm.
what was the exact question? I'm just reframing it. So what happened is this person went on like let's say the person went on Tony Robbins 4 day event. He goes
Yeah,
there, pumps in like, and then comes back and see. And this is happening with the person again and again. Whenever he buys a program or gets into a new thing, whatever, the entire self-help industry revolves around the next book,
yeah,
next book, next program, next thing. So like
yeah,
why the person could not make a change in his life? Because this is also a thing we were talking before of New Year resolution. So it's like
yeah.
kind of similar.
True. It's some again, like I say, you can take the horse to the water, but you can't force the water to drink the horse to drink the water. So some people, even I've seen even during some of the motivation programs, conferences, even in my programs itself, when we actually analyze them through body language and all that, we know either somebody sent them to the program, they didn't come on their own willingness, so there will not be any transformation happening. You know,
Yeah.
so it's again about you getting committed. Am I going to be doing something today that make a difference in my life now? It's all about us. It's all about, the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, what all areas you work upon? Like is it like what all things you do right now in your business, whatever trainings you do? So I was asking like then you talked about corporate trainings or NLP practicing or hypnotherapy. So like what kind of work you do in day to day right now?
Okay. Day to day, most of the time is occupied with corporate trainings, a lot of mindset matter programs. And also, I do a lot of therapy work whenever it's possible. So, for example, but during the lockdown, so it was a bit more challenging to conduct hypnotherapy. But nevertheless, there were some people that wanted to do it, and we said, okay, let's give it a shot. Uh, I was frankly surprised with the results too, because we always feel that it's better to do it face to face, but
Yeah.
virtually was, could be done also. So other than that, I don't do consultancy work anymore because if the process is longer, and because due to my traveling at that time, I did not do it much. So at the moment, it's corporate training and therapy work actually.
So right now this is like almost end of 2021. So like we are ending in a new year. So what are your
Mhm.
plans for this next year or maybe future? What are your future plans right now?
Uh, okay, I've been pushed by many friends, even family members, and all that. Say, hey, Harjit, why not you sit down and write a book, and all that. So I have been procrastinating, frankly. A lot of ideas in mind, only thing trying to sit down and look at how I can approach. So the goal for the next upcoming year is actually try to settle down and see what kind of book, not from the perspective of what I know, but from the perspective of what people want. Because I strongly believe that. Because I don't want to write something that, hey, I think this is useful, and this is the great stuff and all that. I'll prefer writing about something that people want. That means a bunch of techniques, something they can apply in their real life. So
Yeah.
definitely a book will be in my pipeline. And also to go into new skills and deeper into the mindset matter. I still believe that a lot more to be explored.
Wow.
That's
That's
my
like a
yeah.
good type of thing. Because what
Yeah.
happens is after like my father is of similar age,
Mhm.
but if I told him to do something new, he would not do it. Like because maybe there is like a belief that it's not for me or like the old thing comes kicks back again. So again,
Yeah,
then like
yeah,
mind is playing the game. I I truly believe about this is like whatever we do is like just our mind is playing. That's why I'm right. The book that I wrote was all about
Hmm.
this only, like how my it was just a mindset book. So
Yeah.
yeah, writing a book is also a good thing. But the only thing is like the consistency. We were talking about like what happens is if you're publishing a book or writing a
Hmm.
book, it's like a long process. It will not
Yeah.
happen in like one day or thing. You have to sit
Exactly.
down for a particular moment of time for like maybe a month or maybe 2 3 months continuously, or some people took it like 2 years and years. So that's
Yes.
yeah, that's another talk for
True.
I might do a
Yeah.
separate thing, like the exact
Yeah.
process of thing. Yeah.
And sometimes there's a lot of things that's playing in your mind, something that you want to share, but we better put it into a proper perspective, structure kind of
Yeah,
thing. Then
like
it becomes a real.
the first time I wrote down the book, the first edition, it was like very
Mhm.
raw. And while writing it, I was having that limiting belief. Who am I to write about this stuff? I,
Yeah.
I like the other beliefs. I'm like I'm too young. I'm not like too experienced. Or like, what
Yeah.
if my book doesn't work? Or like I will like the
True.
other thing. That's the limiting beliefs that kicks in.
True. Yeah.
That
Exactly.
that's the main thing in order
Yeah.
to publish a
Don't
book.
don't 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 believe that, just because I'm young, I don't have much experience and all that. Don't be surprised, Kishore, that
Yeah.
even even one or two things that somebody, after reading your book, suddenly that totally transformed their life, that itself is a superb achievement. You
Yeah.
know. So always don't look at age, don't look at experience too much about it. Those are just limiting beliefs.
Yeah. So, any last things you would tell about, like from your life experience, was whatever you have learned in your entire career, maybe before
Okay.
before like corporate career or like this thing, new passion area.
Mhm.
So, any
Yeah.
life lessons you would like want to share with the people who might be listening to you at this
Yeah.
moment?
There's a couple of things and all that, but let me just summarize it very quickly. I always believe that a person, if let's say you're very honest, you do things dedicatedly, I believe the universe will open up the channels, the doors to move you to the next level, because I've seen that happening in my life. And simple advice to the younger generation: just persevere, don't rush into things. Don't rush that I want to do this fast, I want to achieve this fast and all that. Because believe me, the wisdom that you're going to get through the years of experience, you can't buy from any university. You can only get it from the University of Life.
Yeah.
And the more experience that you get in any matter itself is going to be the wisdom that going to differentiate between you and somebody who is much more, kind of theoretical person. So
Yeah.
that would be a quick takeaway.
Yeah. So, how can people connect with you? Like, is it like social media links or what? Like, what are
Okay,
places and what all things you
I'm
have for the people who might just started getting started? Maybe an
okay,
entrepreneur watching you. Like, what
right.
things you have for them as of now?
Okay. I've been running workshops also, of course, NLP certification programs for those, and I've had people from all walks of life, including students, young working adults, and also even some veterans. They just want to transform their life, so they embarked into the NLP certification program. I was a bit reluctant to do virtual NLP certification program because of I didn't want to shortchange the participants, because NLP is all about experimentation.
Oh,
So, but nevertheless, I'll still try to go into it. But what I want to uh, currently, if you want to connect with me, I'm more active on LinkedIn.
okay.
Uh, if you can search under my name, Dr. Harjit Sidhu, so my profile is
Yeah,
there.
I will
I
be
do.
dropping the link. I will be dropping the link in
Yes,
comment section and description, so they can see,
wonderful.
they can connect with you
Yes,
for that.
I'm always open for connection and also collaboration in anything.
Yeah. Thanks
Right.
for giving us time for our show and have a nice day. It's like,
Truly
I
my
guess it's
pleasure.
9 p.m.
Yeah.
or almost 9 p.m. around your time. So have a nice
Yes.
day.
Yes. Thank you so much and namaste.
Yeah.
All right.